My wife banned me from the family table in front of everyone. This day is for my mother. I have never felt smaller in my life than I did that afternoon. It was my mother-in-law's 60th birthday, a big celebration. My wife, Clara, had been planning it for weeks. Catering, decorations, a rented banquet hall, matching outfits for the kids, the whole thing. I paid for most of it. But that's not the part that hurt. The hall was beautiful. Long white tables with gold centerpieces, a large banner that read, "Happy 60th, Mom." Our two children were running around in little dress clothes, excited and loud. Clara looked radiant, moving around greeting relatives like she was hosting a royal event. I was proud of her. I really was. Until it happened. When dinner was about to begin, everyone started finding their seats. I noticed the head table had Clara, her mother, her father, her two sisters, and two empty seats. I assumed one was for me. I walked toward it casually, smiling at a few uncles as I passed. That's when Clara stepped in front of me. Not gently. She placed her hand against my chest, not aggressively, but firmly enough to stop me. "You're not sitting here," she said quietly. I laughed, thinking she was joking. "What?" She didn't smile. "This table is for immediate family. This day is for my mother." The words didn't register at first. "I am immediate family," I said. She shook her head slightly, glancing around at the watching relatives. "Please don't make this awkward. There's a seat for you at the back." The back. I turned. There was a small round table near the kitchen doors. 3 teenage cousins were sitting there, scrolling on their phones. I felt heat crawl up my neck. "Clara," I said, lowering my voice, "I'm your husband." "And today isn't about you," she replied sharply. "Just sit at the other table." People were watching now. Her mother looked uncomfortable but didn't say anything. Her father avoided eye contact. I stood there for a second too long. That was my mistake. Because Clara leaned in and whispered, "Don't embarrass me." Embarrass her, as if I was the problem. I walked to the back table. Every step felt heavier than the last. The cousins barely looked up. One of them snickered quietly, probably sensing the tension. I sat down, staring at the white tablecloth while laughter and clinking glasses echoed from the head table. I could hear Clara's voice giving a heartfelt speech about how her mother was the backbone of this family. I wondered what that made me. For 12 years, I had been there. I worked overtime so Clara could stay home when the kids were little. I drove her mother to medical appointments. I fixed things in her parents' house. I never once complained. But at that moment, I wasn't family. I was background. Dinner was served. Plates came late to our table. Cold. From where I sat, I could see Clara smiling for photos. She didn't look at me once. Not once. Halfway through the evening, my son came running over. "Dad, why are you sitting back here?" I forced a smile. "Just giving Grandma the spotlight today." He frowned. "But your family." Out of the mouths of children. Before I could respond, Clara called him back sharply. "Ethan, come here. Don't wander." He hesitated, looking between us. I nodded. "Go ahead, buddy." As he walked away, something inside me shifted. It wasn't anger. It was clarity. This wasn't the first time Clara had minimized me in front of her family. Little comments over the years. "Oh, he doesn't really understand how our family works. He's just being dramatic. He's sensitive." I had laughed them off before. But tonight was different. Tonight was public. Intentional. When the cake came out, everyone gathered around the head table for photos. I wasn't invited. No one called me over. I stood near the wall, clapping politely as they sang. That's when Clara's older sister approached me. "You okay?" she asked quietly. I shrugged. Didn't realize I wasn't immediate family. She winced. "That was harsh." "But not surprising?" I asked. She didn't answer. That silence told me more than words. When the party finally ended, I helped load gifts into Clara's parents' car. Her father muttered a quiet, "Thanks," but still wouldn't meet my eyes. On the drive home, the car was silent. The kids fell asleep in the back seat. As soon as we pulled into the driveway, I turned off the engine. Why? I asked. Clara exhaled dramatically. Why what? Why did you do that to me? She stared straight ahead. It wasn't about you. It became about me when you told me I wasn't family. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. She rubbed her temples. You're overreacting. It was one dinner. No, I said calmly. It was a message. She turned to me finally. My mother deserved the spotlight, and I deserved basic respect. She didn't respond. We went inside without another word. That night, I couldn't sleep. I replayed everything. The hand on my chest, the whisper, the seat near the kitchen. For the first time in years, I asked myself a question I'd been avoiding. When did I become an outsider in my own marriage? The next morning, I didn't shout. I didn't threaten. I simply told her, we need counseling. She rolled her eyes. Over seating arrangements? No, over what they represent. She refused at first. But I stopped engaging like before. I stopped chasing approval from her family. I stopped bending over backward. I set boundaries. When her mother needed a ride somewhere, I politely said I was busy. When Clara made jokes at my expense in front of others, I didn't laugh. I said calmly, that's not funny. It shocked her. The dynamic shifted. Respect doesn't disappear overnight. It erodes slowly, one public dismissal at a time. 3 months later, after several tense conversations and finally agreeing to therapy, Clara admitted something she had never said out loud. I didn't think you'd leave, she said during one session. Leave? I didn't think you had that in you. I thought you'd just accept things. There it was. She hadn't just banned me from a table. She had tested how much I would tolerate. And that night at the banquet hall, sitting near the kitchen doors, I had realized something important. Love without respect turns into quiet humiliation. We're still married, but things are different now. Last week, we attended another family gathering. When dinner started, Clara pulled out the chair beside her before I even approached. This seat's taken, she said firmly to a cousin who tried to sit there. That's my husband's seat. It wasn't grand, it wasn't dramatic, but it was intentional. Sometimes the most painful moments don't end a marriage. They expose it. And whether it survives depends on what happens after the humiliation fades. I'll never forget the night I was sent to the back table. But I also won't forget the lesson. If you don't claim your place at the table, someone else will decide where you belong.